This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, and welcome to ServeDC's brief webinar, Introducing AmeriCorps for Potential New Applicants. This webinar is designed to help organizations that are considering applying for AmeriCorps funding. AmeriCorps grants provide funding to high-quality programs that are designed to have community impact and solve community problems by engaging individuals in service as AmeriCorps members. These grants may be given to nonprofit organizations, colleges and universities, public agencies, or Indian tribes. AmeriCorps members have been serving communities across the country since 1994. In order to become an AmeriCorps grantee, you must have a clear strategy for using members to carry out evidence-based or evidence-informed interventions that will strengthen communities. AmeriCorps focus areas include disaster services, economic opportunity, education, environmental stewardship, healthy futures, and serving veterans and military families. Organizations may address unmet needs in these areas or other areas. A grantee might use AmeriCorps resources to make an existing program more effective, to reach previously underserved communities, or to expand their activities beyond what they're currently doing. However, it is important to understand that AmeriCorps funds may never be used to duplicate, displace, or supplant resources that currently exist in the community. AmeriCorps members cannot be used to take the place of staff, current volunteers, or existing funding. AmeriCorps is funded by the Corporation for National and Community Service. Historically, there are three major programs that has been run by the corporation, or what we call CNCS. That includes AmeriCorps Vista, AmeriCorps NCCC, and AmeriCorps State and National. What is ServeDC? ServeDC is the Mayor's Office on Volunteerism and Partnerships. The mission of ServeDC is to strengthen and promote service in the district and partnerships through national service and volunteerism. ServeDC provides tools and resources to help residents meet community needs through service. ServeDC also helps to facilitate programs through Homeland Security and FEMA. ServeDC also administers AmeriCorps funding to community-based organizations that has allowed almost 600 AmeriCorps members to serve in the district every year. These AmeriCorps members train and mobilize residents to respond to emergencies and provide other services. ServeDC also promotes days of service called Seasons of Service, which include Beautification Days, Global Youth Service Day, Martin Luther King Day of Service, and September 11th, National Day of Service or Remembrance. Benefits of having an AmeriCorps member include it allows members to have an opportunity to give back to the community and commit a year of service. It also allows the opportunity for skill building, access to an education award, a living allowance, loan forbearance, and for full-time AmeriCorps members, they can receive a child care benefit or health insurance. All AmeriCorps grantees utilize AmeriCorps members to meet community needs, and members can provide a variety of direct services or capacity building activities. For example, members can help communities respond to a disaster, tutor and mentor youth, clean up streams and parks, or help build affordable housing units. The benefits to being an AmeriCorps or having AmeriCorps members serve in your organization includes expanded people power, expanded direct service to improve communities, additional grant funds that can enhance your current programs. AmeriCorps members can recruit, train, and support volunteers. AmeriCorps members can develop a nonprofit as a nonprofit professional and become a part of an organization's staff. Stipulations and requirements to having an AmeriCorps member include that organizations must follow the rules of non-supplantation, non-duplication, and non-displacement. AmeriCorps members are not staff and should not be treated as staff. AmeriCorps positions are time-bound. AmeriCorps members need appropriate training and guidance. AmeriCorps members are at risk of burnout because members often serve in difficult roles such as disaster response or disaster preparedness and require support from organizations. Because of the uniqueness of their positions, AmeriCorps members have unique needs. AmeriCorps has terms of service which can be of different lengths. There are full-time terms of service, three-quarter time, 1 year half-time, reduced half-time, quarter time, and minimum time. A member service year is one full-time AmeriCorps member, and depending on the needs of the organization, they may have different slot types. Budget guidelines for an AmeriCorps program include that traditional AmeriCorps applicants may not exceed 15,192 per member service year. Remember that member service year is one full-time AmeriCorps member. This calculation does not include Child Education Award. Professional Corps applicants may not exceed $1,000 per MSY, and Education Award applicants may not exceed 100 per MSY, and they can't request more than 50 MSY for any grant year. For any of the different grant types, any program must provide a 24% match, which can include cash or in kind. The foundation of a program design is the theory of change. The theory of change defines a cause and effect relationship between a specific intervention or service activity and an intended outcome. It is essential to the program design that a program be able to show a clear link between the intervention and anticipated outcomes. Your theory of change is a method of explaining what needs to change, how you plan to create that change, and why you believe these particular activities will create that desired change. A key place where applicants need to use evidence is in describing the problem or need that they'll address. This begins with documenting the need in the community or describing the problem your program plans to address. Data should be used to identify the scope of the problem so it can be addressed at the root cause. Ask yourself, why does a program exist and how is it perpetuated and how does our activity work to solve it? Data should be used to describe the relevance of the problem and aid in demonstrating why it is compelling. Lastly, applicants need to demonstrate that their proposed intervention is likely to solve the identified problem. Case studies or similar programs can be used to accomplish this, along with a description of how the proposed program is similar. In 2018, the evidence tiers of funded AmeriCorps State and National Competitive Grants were as follows. 9% had strong evidence, 9% had moderate evidence, 38% had preliminary evidence, and 27% had pre-preliminary evidence. As these figures indicate, CNCS values and funds programs at all points along the evidence continuum and expects programs to progress along the evidence continuum over time. Thus, do not be deterred from applying for funding due to your current evidence level. The next two slides will walk you through the activities that are prohibited for AmeriCorps members, for their program staff, and for any volunteers who are also in support of their activities. In designing your AmeriCorps program, it is important to ensure that your program is not in violation of these prohibited activities. The prohibited activities fall into broad categories that include political activity and advocacy, religious activity, benefiting for-profit entities, voter registration, and abortion services. Individuals may exercise their rights as private citizens to participate in these activities listed above on their initiative, on non-AmeriCorps time, and using non-corporation funds. Individuals should not wear the AmeriCorps logo while doing this. All grantees must conduct national service criminal history checks on participants and on employees who will be on the grant. An individual is ineligible to serve if they refuse to consent to a criminal history check, if they make a false statement in connection with the program's inquiry concerning their criminal history, are registered or required to be registered as a state sex offender, or have committed murder. All AmeriCorps sites must administer a 3-part criminal history check before the member or staff can begin their term of service on the grant. This concludes our general overview of AmeriCorps. If you have any questions or comments, you can please reach us at AmeriCorpsDC.gov, or you can give us a call directly at 202-727-7937. Thank you, and we hope this was useful, and we hope to hear from you. You can check our website, serve.dc.gov, and check our grants competition page for any upcoming grant competitions. Thank you.